Oh, you are joking me. Oh, no. We have a problem. I was just out in the van doing a few bits and pieces, just checking a few things over. We are due to leave tomorrow. I just thought, I don't know why I did it, but I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to check the gas, make sure everything's working from that perspective. And I went to click our little button that switches everything on, and it's not switching the gas on. Oh, it's a bit wibbly. It's not switching the gas on. And as I say, we're due to leave tomorrow. Right, so bit of an update. I am been through obviously what is controlling that little switch, this little switch here, that little switch right there. Obviously there's going to be some fuses down there, so I've just been through all of the fuses to make sure that it wasn't something as simple as a dodgy fuse, and sadly couldn't be that fortunate. So yeah, not sure. Oh. I mean, on one hand, I'm sorry I checked. Ignorance is bliss, but of course that's completely ridiculous, Nigel, because I then would have been trying to turn the gas on tomorrow, where it's going to be -4, -5, and there would have been no heat, no cooking, and a very angry wife. Bugger. Right, bit of an update, and it's kind of better news. So, anyone who is familiar with the setup on here, sometimes they kind of, I don't know, blow a gasket and say, oh, I'm not going to work, and you just kind of reset them and twiddle them about a bit. That's my technical term, by the way. That's the water heater and things like that. And I thought, oh, I wonder, is the gas got itself in a bit of an issue as well? So I actually held the little button down for about 2 seconds, released it, and it switched on. I thought, oh. Went to switch it off, just by a click, and it wouldn't switch off, but then I held it in again, and it switched off. So what I think is going on is this little controller here. Say the van is now 6 years old, and obviously we live in it full time, it's obviously had a fair bit of use. I think maybe there's something going on inside this box. Now, we are not technically minded whatsoever. I do believe that I could flick this off and maybe give it a bit of a clean or something. But we're actually in touch at the moment with the Propex guys, who are unfortunately based down in Bournemouth. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting away tomorrow. We might have to make a bit of a detour at some point to Bournemouth. So I'm just waiting on a phone call back to see when we can do that. The other unfortunate thing is we had already booked our Eurostar and a non-sort of refundable ticket. So that's going to be a bit of a pain as well. But at the very least, we're parked up here in Nicola's mum's house, and hopefully we'll be able to get it fixed. But at least it's nothing more sinister than I think something going on with this little switch here. Oh. Now I just have to wait and see whether the Propex guys down in Bournemouth can fit us in the next couple of days. Anyway, I guess we'll check in again probably tomorrow and let you know what the crack is. Oh, nightmare. We have a bit of an update on the van, and we are going to take it down to the Propex team in Bournemouth, and we're actually going to be heading there tomorrow. It is, however, meant that we've had to delay our leaving by about a week, which also means that the cold spell that's moving through the UK at the moment is starting to also affect France. So the plan now is to leave tomorrow, drive down to the Propex team, stay overnight tomorrow night, Wednesday hopefully get it fixed, then drive on to the Eurostar tunnel, and then on Thursday morning Eurostar across to France. But yeah, the whole gas issue has put us back a week, and also potentially dropped us into the middle of a pretty cold spell in Northern Europe. Nice. So far in this vlog, I don't think Nicola has appeared yet. So what I thought we would do is give you a little bit of a catch up of kind of what we've been doing over these last couple of weeks, and also more importantly, what our plans are going forward. So let's jump back a day or so ago and catch you up.
It's just typical.
While it may have only been 7 days for you guys, we actually haven't picked up the camera in over 2 months. So yeah, we last left you as we were queuing up to get on the Eurotunnel to come back to Ireland, and that was at the end of October. We're actually recording this the second week of January. We've been back in Ireland now for 2 and a bit months. And as you may have picked up in the video as we were driving across Poland and Germany and Belgium, things were getting a little bit tetchy.
I think I've lost the plot. I actually feel hysterical. I'm either going to cry or explode. It's the longest we'd done a trip in one stint. And I think the confined space was probably starting to get to us a little bit by the end. And the worsening weather. So the colder and wetter it got, the more tetchy we became. I'm so angry I can't even speak.
Now, we started out that 5-month trip up in Norway, and as I'm sure it came out in the videos, we absolutely loved Norway, and in fact the short time we spent in Sweden and in Finland. But perhaps the tetchiness had started even before we started our drive home, as we explored multiple capital cities. Maybe bad habits kind of crept back into our lifestyle. That last week or so driving across Poland was pretty challenging on a number of fronts.
I think we'd kind of been looking forward to being able to go out and eat and drink and have a good time generally and look around the cities. But it turned out that after doing it for quite a while, it's not the thing that makes us particularly happy.
No.
It was nice for a few days, but I think we really needed to have got back to a different lifestyle again, which we didn't do.
Yeah. And of course we then ended up back in England and Ireland, which, great to see family and friends. It really was. We ran a half marathon in Ireland. But of course, being back in the UK, we once again were exposed to those bad habits and obviously the stationary lifestyle as well. So as nice as it has been to see friends and family, the good that was certainly injected into our lives at the beginning or the middle part of the year, travelling in the Nordics, a lot of that has been undone slightly.
And certainly for me, coming home, I love it because I love seeing my family and friends, but it really unsettles me. And that then throws up a whole load of other issues, partly because I then don't want to leave again.
The wheels have come off.
Probably an understatement.
Probably an understatement, so yeah. But what are our plans for 2024? They're a little bit up in the air at the moment. We are due to leave again in the next couple of days, and we have a short-term plan, and that is to head south and get a little bit of warmth. Now, when we were sitting in Bruges at the end of kind of 4 cities or 5 cities, we almost talked ourselves out of going into southern Spain, just because we didn't really want to get back into the habit of just, you know, treating it as a bit of a holiday and the Spanish sunshine and Spanish bars and all that jive. We definitely find our mojo out in the wilds. But at the same time, 2 months of pretty diabolical weather here in the UK has kind of twisted our arm to head south and get at least a month or so of warmer weather.
So we've decided to use the next kind of 6-7 weeks while we're down in Spain to properly plan the rest of the year and to make sure we do want to keep travelling in the van.
I think that's been the most surprising thing that I've learnt about myself over these last 3 or 4 months. Do I still want to travel? And I never thought I'd say that, at least not at this stage in my life. I honestly thought that for the next, 2 or 3 years.
There's always noise.
Oh, there's more noise. We're just going to let this plane pass by. 2 minutes. We'll leave you on that cliffhanger. Does Nigel still want to travel? Yeah, so I never thought that I would be questioning my desire to travel. A huge challenge for me while we're on the road is, I've mentioned this before I think on this channel, the creativity for me is one of my biggest things that... There's noise everywhere. Creativity is one of the things that really does improve my mental health. And I find it very, very challenging to be creative while living a nomadic lifestyle.
My anxiety's got pretty bad since we've been back. And one of the things I know is going to help me is I'm desperate to get a dog. And the more we're doing this travelling, because we had plans for maybe backpacking in the future, which we've talked about, I can't yet get a dog. So that's another thing. Do we shelve some of the travel plans in favour of things that might help us mentally? Nigel's creativity, my dog, or dogs. So we've got a lot of unanswered questions at the moment. And we felt like we needed to maybe get away for a few weeks, away from family and friends, because it clouds our judgment to a degree. Not their fault, because if we didn't love them so much, it wouldn't cloud our judgment at all. But we needed that space, I think, to make a decision going forward.
So we just feel that heading down to southern Spain, hopefully doing a few different areas than we did at the beginning of the year, will just give us a little bit of space to make a rough plan. Well, first and foremost, is this still something that we want to do? I think a little kind of tagline we have on our channel is, you know, traveling ourselves happy. Well, we have started to question whether travel is what ultimately is going to make us happy at this stage in our lives, and I think that's the big underlying question that we have to answer. So we'll see. But we're due to leave. We're in Cambridge at the moment. We're due to leave here in a few days' time, all being well.
We'll go from there.
We'll just go from there.
That crow really was never say.
It's time for probably one of the most challenging bits of getting started again with van life, and that's trying to shove all of this one's possessions into our van. I honestly don't know how we're going to do it. Right, let's get this pack of malarkey on the road. And first up, water. As I think we said, we're due some pretty cold conditions, and so I'm actually not going to connect the water up to the pipework. I'm just going to put ourselves in a little sort of spare bunt, and hopefully by Sunday temperatures will then be, overnight temperatures will then be well above freezing and no risk of pipes freezing. So I'm just going to shove this in the back. Of course, chances are that bunt will probably freeze in the back anyway, like a big ice block. Next up, all the odds and sods. A little bit of home comforts. I know we can get that down in Spain and stuff, but saves us having to do a shop over the next week. All kind of van related odds and sods, like our extension cables for the electricity, stuff for going in the sea, gloves and boots, shower accessories, and bits and bobs. Sports bag will go in there in a minute, and sometimes another bag there, but that's pretty much the back done. Yeah, I'll just keep the water bunt for now in here. Our other two empty water bunts are in the back, so not forgetting the daddy tripod as well. Spot the fact that no Nicola here as well to help me. She's conveniently having a very long hot shower. Then again, it probably is the last shower she's going to have for about 6 months, so I'll give her a break. Right, now bear in mind what I'm about to bring out here. 80% of it is Nicola's. Clothes, and this isn't even half of it. Some extra shoes, said sports bag that needs to go in the back at some point. Oh. Seriously, how's it all going to fit? We're now on to boxes of cosmetics. By the way, I'm just dumping all this into the van. Nicola's task is to play Jenga with it all. Huh. An empty bag for once. Laundry bag. Oh, I'll stick this in here. Right. What else we got going on? Just when we thought the clothes weren't finished with, we have more bags and more hanging stuff. Quite perplexed. To be honest, she deserves a medal, the fact that she can get all this tucked in there, but take a look. Yeah, this somehow has to fit into all of these cupboards and Anyway, let's go grab Nicola.
Oh, blimey.
Oh.
Look, I can't even get in to get the stuff sorted.
We have another box.
Right.
For the fitwell. There's 2 bags in here as well.
Before I can put all that hanging stuff, I need the duvets and everything to tuck behind. So I'm actually going to have to take stuff out and then...
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Well, the best thing to do is, why don't put the shirts on the front seat and then...
Yes.
Put the thing.
All right.
See? She was up at the last minute and then she's all like, do this, do that, do the other.
I have a structure.
You didn't sew my glove up either, Nicola. Got a pretty cold finger.
Remind me tonight, I'll do it tonight.
Oh, that's cry number 2 this morning. Well, somehow we managed to fit everything in. Well, I guess next stop, France. Well, actually, next stop, let's see whether we can get our gas fixed before we go into France, where I hear it's going to be...
Feels like -6, I think.
Only feels like it. But I guess that, as always, will be a story for next time.
And hopefully I'll be a bit more enthused again about being back on the road. Takes a while to adjust again, and saying goodbye is very hard.
Give it 3 or 4 vlogs, I'd say.
Yeah, I would.
Right, guys, well, once again, thanks a lot for following along, and until next time, fingers crossed, in frozen France. See you later. Bye-bye. We did it! Oh, I hope we don't go across a weighbridge anytime soon.